So what do we have here? We have a Bulova Marine Star men's automatic watch, diving, sailing, sports watch. This watch is polished rose gold with a stainless steel case, and the buckle is also rose gold as well. The dial is blue, beautiful contrast. It's got two skeleton subdials, and they're luminous hour and minute hands on this watch. It's got rose gold toned Roman numeral hour markers. It's water resistant to 200 meters. It's an automatic movement, which I'll talk about later. It's a 21 jewel watch. It's got a see-through exhibition back. So flip this over and you'll see the see-through back. Not a very highly decorated movement, but you're not seeing that a lot anyway. It's got a red and blue silicone strap. It's very, very comfortable to wear. Not like the old rubber straps that you used to get on your Seiko dive watches. It's model number 98A as in Alpha 227. It's a fairly large watch. The case diameter is 45 millimeters from end to end here. The thickness is 17 millimeters, as you can see. And the strap width is 24 millimeters. So if you've got a small wrist, this watch might not be for you. But it is a gorgeous watch. So the coating on it, on this watch, is a PVD coating, rose gold PVD coating. And this coating, it's a physical vapor deposition coating, PVD. It's a vacuum coating process, and it produces a brilliant and very resilient finish. You're actually blasting a combination of 14 karat gold and brass, I believe, in this process. It's very resilient to corrosion, sweat, regular wear. It's way more than gold plating, the old gold plating they used to have, or in the very old pocket watches they have rolled gold, which is simply flattened out gold compressed in a sandwich manner with tin or something in the middle, right? So this is gold plating is pretty popular now, and it's obviously the value of the gold is not very high, but it's a very durable and corrosion resistant. It'll last a lifetime versus a gold plating. And the coating for PVD is around 10 times thicker than your standard gold plating, so it's a very, very durable watch that way. So it's a Bulova watch. So who are these Bulova folks? So Bulova was founded by an immigrant, a Bohemian immigrant, Joseph Bulova, in 1875, and he started the J. Bulova Company, and then in 1923 he incorporated the Bulova Watch Company, and it became part of the Lowe's Corporation in 1979, and then it was sold to Citizen at the end of 2007. So it's been around for a long time, and it's a pretty well-known company, and a chain that's been in many, many large department stores of old. So it's the name is good. Bulova is really well known for the Accutron watch, and it's as you can see at the very top of this movement, you see this little tuning fork, and that was the Accutron tuning fork that was used to vibrate or oscillate to tune the Accutron watch. So to keep time, basically fed energy. Energy was fed into it, and the resulting vibration or oscillations were fed back into a circuit, and then the circuit was running a watch. So that's as simple as I can describe the whole Accutron movement. If you need more, just Google Accutron and you can look this up. But it's a very, very popular movement, and it was used by NASA for its accuracy. I believe it's not used today for these sorts of things, but Bulova made its name in the Accutron and other watch movements for its accuracy. So, but this watch is it's got a caliber 82S5 Miyota movement. So Miyota is also owned by Citizen. So as you can see, the subdial here, down here, it's a configuration of this particular movement. And this movement, get a little bit of information on this movement. It's a 11.5 Ling movement, height 5.67 millimeters. It's accurate. Let's flip it around here for a second. It's accurate to minus 20 to plus 40 seconds per day. And of course, as I've shown you in other videos, there's 5 position accuracy testing on these watches. Its running time is more than 42 hours on a full wind. Its vibration frequency for watchmakers is 21,600. It's got 21 joules, and effectively that's all you need functionally is 21 joules to for all of the wheel trains and balance staff and you know where the pivots go into the joule. You just need 21. Any more than 21 is just decorative. And for watchmakers as well, it's got a lift angle of 49 degrees. So if you need to do any timing on this watch, you need to put the proper lift angle in there to get that timing done properly. I've noticed, so the specifications are on the edge of the back of the watch. It's got a screw down case back, and it's a visible case back. As I said before, it's 200 meters. And it's actually got the little tuning fork symbol right here next to the word Bulova again on here. And this, like I said, it's not a very decorated movement. It's got an kind of an open skeleton rotor on it. And this rotor actually is very good. If I just wiggle this a bit, this rotor will move quite freely. So it's from that perspective, that's excellent. There's some writing on the rotor that just says Japanese movement, I believe. So this movement is a newer movement because it's both hacking and winding. So if I look at the watch itself here, before I get into any more details, you can set the time by unscrewing the crown, and the crown is, you feel it click back like this, and then you just pull the crown out like that, and then you can set the time on the watch. So that's how you do it. I'm going to cover the name Bulova for you. Just leave it like that. And as you can see, the balance has stopped moving, so it's hacking. So you can actually push that in, and you can set the subdial, the seconds dial here. You can pull that out at the high noon, the 12 o'clock period, like this. Just hang on a second, and then you can use that with go to a program like Time Is to get the exact atomic time. And let me just pull this out at the right time, and there's a physical brake on the movement and on the balance actually that stops that balance. It doesn't put undue pressure on the balance that might bend the pivots, but it stops the balance so you can do time checks basically and have the extremely accurate time. And you push the crown back in like this, starts the watch, and then it's waterproof to 200 meters, but not unless you actually screw the crown in. So you do that, and it's also winding, which means the rotor will wind the movement. You just flip this around again. The rotor will wind the movement, but you can also wind the movement by hand. And if you look really closely, you'll see one of the winding mechanisms there moving on the upper right hand side of your screen. and so I'm actually winding the movement. And for automatic movements, the mainspring, there's a braking grease you put inside the mainspring barrel, and the mainspring is, the end of the mainspring is not actually attached to the barrel on the outside of the barrel. It just slides with the barrel, so it's impossible to wind the movement so tight that the mainspring would break. It just slides, and as I said before, there's braking grease put on the barrel. So that's that's the Miyota movement. Let me move up a little closer here and see if I can zoom in on that. There you go. Not sure how clear that is, but there's the movement there. It looks it's a fairly simple movement. And again, like I said, the rotor is exceptionally free. It's free moving. I'm not doing anything now. It's just sort of winding down. And this will wind in both directions for this 82 S5 SS and Sierra 5 movement. And for maintenance of the movement, it's pretty simple. It's not a very there's not a lot of complications in this movement, so it's not going to take a lot to clean it. So let me back up a bit again. So as I said before, it's got this very, very nice silicone strap, and it's a mix of red and blue. I guess when you're wearing it, you can just see the edge of red here on the end, on the edge of the strap here, and it's easy to put on. The buckle seems to grab the holes quite easily on this watch. And the blue is a very nice contrast. There was another version of this movement that had a black face, and the subdial was not red. The second hand was not red, and just didn't pop out as much. This movement, this watch, will cost you about $150 more than the other watch. So the strap is very, very good, very comfortable. But as I said, it's if you don't have larger hands or larger wrists, then it won't fit as well. So, and that's fitting on my wrist. Let me move my wrist up a bit here. So that fits quite nicely on my wrist because I got pretty large wrists here. So easy to put on, nice strap, and as I said before, 24 millimeters wide, which is pretty wide for a watch. But so it's a fairly hefty watch, which I like, right? And the case back is just your typical screw down case back, so there's no issue here at all, and nothing to say about that. But just a bit about the case, the angles. So it's got this nautical kind of feel to it, right? So this looks like a portal of some sort on a boat or a submarine, right? With these screws here, and it doesn't move. There's no movement, so it's not like a dive watch. So you can't set so much oxygen, like 50 minutes of dive time, and then watch it go around and make sure you don't run out of air. So it's not really for that. I wouldn't take this diving. You can, but I wouldn't. For sailing or any sort of marine sports, you could use this. But again, it's such a nice looking watch that why would you do that? It can be worn in a sports environment, but it also can be worn in a more formal environment. If you've got a suit on, this watch would stand out nicely because of the rose gold and the PVD gold plating. So from that perspective, it's very, very classy looking. It's a mineral crystal on this. I'm not sure why they picked a mineral crystal, but it's a hardened mineral crystal, so that's of no issue. It's a flat crystal, so there's no dome on this. It's just straight flat crystal pressed in, and they've got a the rose gold with this boat kind of portal look, and then there's a black sort of an edge or rim here that's also coated here. It's not functional of any type. It's just part of the casing. So the rose gold is just gorgeous. If you can see, that's just so clean. And I think if you got it's very resilient to scratching. But if you got a scratch in there, I don't know whether you'd be able to polish that out like you can with stainless steel. So that's an issue. So I don't recommend using this for sports where you're going to scratch it up and stuff, unless you don't like your watch and you want to go take it for an adventure in the weight room. one of the reasons I bought this was this skeleton view of the balance. I'm a watchmaker, and I just love to see the mechanics and the balance itself. And it's got a shock spring in the top of the of that balance, where the balance staff comes up and hits that jewel. So there's a cap jewel on top there, and it's held with this very small spring, and so if there's any shock in there, that takes up the shock by the cap moving up just ever so slightly. It's nice to actually see the balance ticking away, so that's something I like about the watch. Also, as I said before, the Roman numerals are nice. It's very classy looking from a watch perspective, and not very visible, but if you look down in the outer rim, there's an indices that's just telling you the number, like 35, 40, and then it goes around that way. So if you're not familiar with watches or can't tell the time, then this will tell you what the time is. So I think the red on the seconds hand just pops out. It's a nice addition, and it's a good contrast to the blue. When I looked at the lettering here of the Roman numerals, the detail is exceptional on this watch. You can zoom in very close, and you don't see any flaws in what they've done for the style and the details of this watch. Let me just zoom in a little closer for you here, so you can have a look at it this way. I'm hoping that the quality of the video is okay here. So this is what we have. I'm going to flip to give you a nicer, closer, cleaner look at this watch. Okay, now we're in nice and close, and as you can see, the detail is exceptional on this watch. The word Marine Star is right under the word Bulova, and 200 meters under that, automatic 21 joules. And the hands they have loom on the hands, as you can see, the white loom on the hands, and the loom actually lasts the night. So you can take your iPhone flashlight in your iPhone and just blast this watch before you go to bed, and that loom will show all night. It's the only part of the watch that's loomed, obviously, so the rose gold Roman numerals obviously wouldn't be loomed. So as I said earlier, you can see the numbers on the bezel on the inside, and another nice touch is that the top and bottom numbers are actually red. And again, as I said, you can the skeleton visible balance is really nice on the bottom left hand side of the watch. So very nice. And let me just rotate this so you can see it up close a bit, and hopefully my video stays nice and focused here. So there we go there. The crown is got the Bulova symbol on it, the tuning fork symbol on it, which again is from the Accutron. I don't think that fork exists before the Accutron watch was designed and produced. So there we go, and I turn that around like this, and there you get a little close up of the Miyota movement. And it's nice that they skeletonized the rotor on that movement as well. That's a very nice touch, which allows you to see more of the movement and not have to move the rotor out of the way. And obviously the weight of the rotor is perfect, because this thing spins around like a freewheel on it is excellent. So the polish on the rose gold is incredible. Obviously the case back is a stainless steel, not rose gold. So there you go. And I think that I'll probably put my white gloves on when I wear it, and I'll look like Michael Jackson or something. So there you go there. That's the rose gold here on the side, and just polish that up a bit, and it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous watch. So if you're asking yourself, should you invest in buying one of these Bulova Marine Star watches, then it's highly recommended that you do this. And as I said, it's the 98A227, the 98A227 watch. Again, it's meant for sailing and diving or water sports in general, but it does have that kind of executive look to it. The other thing I noticed about the watch is that they've squared off the shoulders here for the strap, and instead of rounding it as you typically see it. And what that does is give if you look at the watch in a whole, it kind of puts a box around the circle. So if you look at that watch like this, it kind of looks like there's a box, and the bezel is sitting on that box, which gives it an interesting visual appeal. So it's a nice touch as well. And again, the small screws, as you can see, to tighten these, I think you need yourself a little six-sided screwdriver here to get in there and tighten that properly. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this watch. There was no real good video about these, regarding these Bulova Marine Star watches online. So I said I'll just make a quick video and chat about the watch, and hopefully you've learned a few things about it. Again, it's going to run you anywhere from $500 to $600 US for purchasing this watch. They do have a few of these available on eBay. I went to the Bulova company and they're sold out, so not available. The reviews are incredibly good on this watch, and only because it probably for your average watch enthusiast that's getting a mid-range watch, this one will blow their mind, right? I've got a lot of different watches, and this one here is just incredible. So love it. Like the movement, like the skeletonized sub-dial, like the see-through back on it. The strap is sort of a rubber silicone. I've read a few places where it said it was rubber, but then I read more detailed articles where it said it was silicone. Very comfortable strap, easy to wear. I've worn this for a couple days now and I don't feel it at all. So anyway, Bulova Marine Star watch. I hope you enjoyed this quick review of the watch. I hope I didn't forget anything regarding this watch, and please subscribe to my channel and pass the video along if you could. And I'm going to be producing a few more watchmaking videos in the near future as I dive into some more pocket watches and watches that I'm working on repairing. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.